No.
6. And look at her, too. But in addition to that, everybody here's had a passion. She has a passion. She has a passion for some little babies who might not be given the same opportunity that we were, and she really has worked, so you're in for a treat here.
A quick announcement. I think I saw some scholars' faces kind of drop when I said we might interrupt your presentation by having the caterer put the food there. No worries. I think that Angelina's going to be fine based on time, and I may do some of the announcements I would do at the end in between hers and our final scholar so that we do not have that disruption.
All right, good.
Wow, I have like so much I want to say, but I know my time's limited. The end, I will thank a lot of people, but there's a few things that I know that I missed, so I just want to throw it out there. There's a thanks to all the scholars for setting the bar high for me. Awesome. So glad I get to get up here. And also to the 2 women on the panel, you guys really helped me kind of formulate how I wanted to start this thing today. I believe big and wing it, just because you got to kind of know your audience when you're talking to them. So talking about education and higher education and where do we start? It's right here. It's not when they're in high school. It's not when they're in elementary school. It's right there. Babies' brains are sponges. If you don't give them the right nutrients, you don't give them enough time, you don't give them what they need, you're already hitting a roadblock. So I'm going to start with this little guy. 3 years ago, on April 4th, today, this little man was born. He was born addicted to drugs. His mom was supposed to be taking Suboxone. She was selling her Suboxone and taking other drugs. Quite a few of them, as a matter of fact. He came out and he was going through tremors and withdrawals. And let me tell you, it's the hardest thing to watch a baby go through seizures and withdrawals and not be able to strive in his first days of life. So this is Jameson Rochelo, and he was the 4th child to a mother who all 3 other kids were already in the system. This is the only reason why this baby was tested when he was first born, because they knew that the mother was already drug addicted. With that being said, thank you for pointing out to me at our fall meeting that I was chomping off way more than I could chew, and I might have to focus in a little now. Also, with that being said, thank you, Laura, for turning me on to Dr. Brown. He's a brilliant man. He runs the neonatology unit out of Bangor Hospital, and I got to interview him. Great resource. So, my disclosures. I'm not a medical professional at all, but I have a lot of firsthand knowledge of NAS. NAS is neonatal abstinence withdrawal syndrome. And it ranges anywhere from nicotine withdrawals to alcohol withdrawals. My intent for this project is not to attack these moms. Some of them don't even know they're pregnant when this starts. This isn't a debate, this isn't a criminology thing. This is for early intervention. I want to see these kids be able to go to college. I want to see them be able to participate and really strive in life. And it all starts with the beginning days of life. And I am so sick of the snow. Anybody else? Awesome. Okay, so what was my concern? My concern is too many of these babies are being left behind. They're not being noticed, and there's a lot of reason why. This is kind of my visual aid. I do listen to Angus. However, I think some people are visual. So here's your pregnant mom up at the top, and all these little bubbles. One is her socioeconomic status. One is she's uneducated. One is she's in a fight with her spouse, or she just lost her job. Whatever the reason is, all these things are surrounding her in her life. She has this baby, and now the baby's found addicted. What the doctor does is makes one referral to DHS, to the state. They have to by law. One-time referral, and it's the second that it's born, and DHS makes a few other referrals. All of this takes place within the first day to 3 days of birth. So this baby is put in one of 3 places. It's either put back with mom with the help of DHS for a very limited period of time where they're kind of looking. Or it's put with family kinship. Could be grandma, could be aunt, could be sister, or it's just put in foster care. The child is then shown this one referral to CDS, Child Development Services, and they come out within the first 3 to 5 days, maybe 7 to 21, depending on how addicted the baby was and how long he was in the hospital. At 7 days, I don't know who has kids or who's seen babies, they're not talking, they're not walking. How do they know what trouble lies ahead for these babies? So this one referral gets, okay, here's our services, here's our card. Mom's doing good, she just had the baby, she's gonna go on the right track, or grandma just took the baby, so mom can get on the right track. 6 months down the line, mom slipped up, dad slipped up, whatever it was, that one business card is gone, lost in the wind. So what happens to this child is it moves on in life. It's got moms, all the bubbles, all those are still there, but now it's got its own delays. It's having trouble talking, it's having trouble walking, it's having trouble with behavior, with aggression. Nobody knows why or how, and there's not enough data to say what drugs are causing what later on down the line, because we really don't know. So this is the biggest shocker for me. I'm sorry about that.
The thing that's a little bit of a delay,
I just
get
noticed
tripped
that.
up for that. Yeah.
So here we are in 2006, about 200 babies were reported in the state of Maine. Here we are in 2013, almost 1,000. Nationwide, a baby is born, 1 out of every 12 addicted to substances, and that's the only ones that are tested, the ones that we know of. That's pretty scary. It's really scary. So, and it's not going down. I mean, you see different things with spikes. You see CODs going up and down a little bit here and there. This is going up. It's going up, it's going up, it's going up. No matter where you are, it is. And I don't know if anybody has noticed. I know where she went. Amy. She's somewhere in here. There she is. Amy was great enough to send me a lot of links because it's popping up all over the news. It's in Bangor Daily News. It's everywhere. It's happening. So what's being done now? Kind of explain that a little bit with the referral system. And this is what we have. This data is from 2013. Obviously, it takes a little time for census data to come together, but a little over 42,000 kids between the ages of 0 to 3 were going on in 2013. Of that, only 20%, actually less than 20%, were properly screened for any delays or disabilities due to NAS. Of that 20%, only 17 were actually receiving services. So you're talking 930 kids, over 4,000 kids were left behind. Sorry, I might get a little choked up on this one. 4,000 kids went on to preschool, kindergarten, and what did they do? They got misdiagnosed with ADHD. They got, all sorts of things, and they're struggling. And like Peter said, these teachers are doing what they can. I mean, you're talking sometimes 30, 40 kids to a classroom, and this poor kid struggles and keeps going up and up and up, and nobody knows what to do until finally he gives up, and somebody says, hey, you gonna go to college? I was never good in math. Why not? I don't know. Maybe that was why. So this basically is a pie chart showing you what I just said, that this was the big chunk of kids, and then this is what we're looking at. Out of just that little chunk, only these ones are getting helped. That's a huge chunk of kids there missing out on what they need. So if we were to take how they're properly being screened, during the years of 2006 and 13, that graph I showed you of all the kids going up, there was basically, with the percentages, only 143 of the drug-exposed kids out of over 4,000 were getting their help. 143. Pretty scary. I mean, just in the amount of people in this room, if we added up all the kids, grandchildren, and whatever, you could probably get to 143 pretty easy. And think how many kids are in the state of Maine, over 42,000. So what needs to be done about it? called the GABE Care project. And what we'll do is increase the knowledge of what can be given to the families, to the providers, to the mothers, increase the participation between early intervention, and collaborate information and resources. Through the Maine Community Foundation, I was so blessed to go down to Massachusetts and sit in something down there that it was overwhelming. They had a hotel and they needed 3 rooms separated out to fit the amount of doctors, providers, healthcare professionals, midwives. They come together twice a year in person and they talk about what they're doing, what the trends are, what they're seeing, how they're treating. Let's breastfeed, let's not breastfeed, methadone, Suboxone, whatever it is. How are you testing? How are you finding out? You know, what's happening to these moms when they go home? They all know, and they know each other, and they know what's going on. And these kids are getting their rate down there, instead of being less than 20%, about 45% of their kids are getting early intervention right now. That's huge. And their rate is about the same as ours climbing. So that tells me we're kind of failing these babies. So the GABE stands for Giving All Babies Equal Care. Just want to throw that out. So this is the things that they look for when they're doing their evaluation. Like I said, they do it right when the baby gets home within a couple days. Is they getting enough nutrition? Are they speaking? Are they expressing themselves? How is their cognition? Can they put patterns together? Babies half the time don't even see until they're several weeks old. So there's a lot of things that can go on, and these are the little bubbles that the baby can get these problems. So this is what I propose, that a system is made where not one referral goes in, but their name goes into a system, an automatic, whether it's a letter or a phone call or one visit from CDS. At these intervals in a child's life, up to where they head into school, for most of them, you got walking, you got potty training, you got aggression, you've got speech, you've got all their major milestones are in these first years. So why aren't we checking back on them? Why aren't we seeing, how come you didn't get the speech? Oh, well, mom didn't have a car, she didn't have a ride. Okay, well, let me turn you on to this new program, these volunteers, this. Whatever the reasons are, they're not getting it, they need it, and they need to be told that they can have it more than once. Because, I mean, whether it's hormonal, whether it's mom falls off the truck, whether it's, you know, whatever the reason, they need to be reminded. I mean, how many times does your mom tell you growing up one thing over another? That's how parents learn, that's how kids learn, through practice, through repetition. So this is what I propose. And what will this provide for everybody? Because a lot of people say, well, this ain't my problem. You know, I don't have any drug addicted people in my family. So you got mom for problems, DHS comes down here, all the therapy, the education, the support comes together. Here's the child going on in life. Yeah, they still got some issues. They got some stuff in their past. They got maybe family members that aren't doing what they do. Maybe they'll always have a little lisp or a little lag. But I would much rather send my kid off into the world with this little arrow than that big old jumble mess we saw in the beginning. Because they have a lot better chance of making it. And they're going to give back. So here we are. Here's some figures for you. I can't tell you exactly how much it's going to cost, but I can tell you that for every dollar spent, $17 is saved. Doesn't seem like a lot until you put this in effect. Over $17 million had my project been in place in 2006, could have saved the state of Maine over $17 million. It took a lot, and a couple helps from some math majors and things to really get this narrowed down. I know I'm not a numbers geek. I'm really not. I'm a criminal justice major. But taxpayers, why does it affect everybody? Because that number right there, that's what, you know, one baby costs $8,500 a year when they're drug exposed. And that's for the rest of their life if they never get help. That's what they say, $8,500 a year. 90%, according to Dr. Brown, 90% of the babies that are born drug addicted are on Maine Care. all y'all's tax money. So it matters for everybody to kind of get involved and help these kids. So GABE Care again, what does it do? It's gonna bring these people together. It's gonna teach us what are the best testing, how do we recognize the signs, the symptoms, what do these parents need? What are they missing in this county versus that county? Oh, well, they have no transportation over here, okay, well, this county has this, so what are we gonna give them? People need to talk. Communication is key, just as important as education is. So, Angus King, tell him again, retell him what you can do. So what about that little baby we talked about? This is a rough part for me, sorry. There he is, and he's grown up, and like I said, he turns 3 today. Come on, a little sliding work in here. Oh, there he is. That's my son. Sorry. His name now is Gabriel. That's why the Gabe comes in. And he has a sister, which I've also adopted. And that's her right there, Jada. I got her when she was 11 months old, and she had no intervention. She's barely talking. It took her a long time to walk. He, as you can see in the picture, is twice her size. She's getting her intervention now, but she's still kind of struggling. This little tyke, man, I love him. Sorry. If I didn't have the intervention for him and the people that cared about him, CDS and ACAP and all of them people, I have a strong unit up there in Hope, Maine. And they keep checking in, and I didn't lose the number. So I know that this kid has got a huge chance that he's going to make it. I could see the charts when he started out. He was struggling, he had problems eating. She had failure to thrive, which is an eating problem. She couldn't walk, she couldn't stand on her own. They're doing great now, they really are. But he's the reason, sorry, that I did this. I thought I wasn't going to do this, but that's my little man anyway. So, I'm good, I'm done.
Now you can relax. It's dark. I'll start out with just saying, I loved your good use of humor. It really helps. The jokes you made at the beginning were good. The visuals were excellent. Just sort of the flow chart, I thought was really excellent. But I did like the laid back presentation attitude. I thought was refreshing and opening up and making us relax and the audience relax. It's nice. It was refreshing. So I'll let you guys ask some questions.
Oh. I'm not sure whether I should cry or be so grateful to you for tackling this issue, because I'm under the distinct impression that you're going to make this happen.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. I had some sort of basic questions because I know nothing about this field. Unlike poor Tyler, where everybody has had an educational experience, so we have all got opinions about what you were talking about. This is just so out of my realm of understanding. So, drug exposed, does drug exposed infants include alcohol, tobacco, some of the drugs we use that are sanctioned by society, or is it primarily drugs that are illegal?
It includes everything. One of the biggest things that babies, you would think it would be alcohol or nicotine, but one of the biggest things that babies are addicted to is caffeine. Caffeine. Moms, a lot of times, soda, Pepsi,
No.
What happens? What does the doctor tell you when you have an upset stomach? Drink tonic, drink ginger ale, right? Mom don't like ginger ale, what does she drink? Pepsi or Coke?